monetary transformation, distributed technology, and the false promise of digital freedom. 1. The illusion of asset safety in gold. Gold is often promoted as the ultimate store of value and privacy. However, legal precedent in the United States shows otherwise. Executive Order 6102, signed by President Franklin D. Roosevelt in 1933, mandated the confiscation of privately held gold, compelling citizens to surrender it to the Federal Reserve. The U.S. Supreme Court upheld this action, demonstrating that legal mechanisms for forced asset seizure are not hypothetical, they are historical fact. While gold retains intrinsic value, it is not immune to state control during monetary restructuring. Footnote: gold has already been forcibly seized in U.S. history, proving it is not impervious to systemic monetary controls. 2. Bitcoin's misconception as an anonymous asset. Bitcoin is pseudonymous, not anonymous. Blockchain wallet addresses are not intrinsically tied to names, but transaction histories are permanently recorded and traceable. Law enforcement agencies, including the Department of Justice and the FBI, have successfully tracked, seized, and liquidated billions in Bitcoin. Privacy is not ensured on-chain and is often compromised off-chain through Know Your Customer (KYC) processes. Tools like VPNs and Tor, while helpful, are subject to surveillance and data subpoenas under national security laws. Footnote: Bitcoin transactions are traceable, and privacy measures like VPNs or Tor do not eliminate systemic surveillance vulnerabilities. 3. KYC, exchange regulation, and value extraction barriers. Major exchanges now require identity verification for both deposit and withdrawal functions. Platforms once used for anonymous exchange, such as local bitcoins, have shut down or been regulated into compliance. On- and off-ramps to the crypto economy are increasingly controlled by financial institutions aligned with state regulatory frameworks. As stablecoins become embedded in the banking infrastructure, the capacity for programmatic control and freezing of funds is formalized. Footnote: access to crypto networks and liquidity is contingent on identity verification, effectively centralizing value control. 4. Blockchain as a tool of surveillance infrastructure. The blockchain's immutable ledger is often framed as a tool of transparency and decentralization. However, its transparent nature is also ideal for surveillance. The physical layer of the Internet, managed by ISPs, stores all access logs, and this data is legally available to authorities under subpoena. Even privacy networks like Tor, originally developed by U.S. military institutions, are susceptible to infiltration at exit nodes. Thus, participation in blockchain inherently places individuals within a traceable digital architecture. Footnote: blockchain technology facilitates a permanent, transparent record, forming a perfect surveillance structure when layered with ISP data. 5. Bitcoin's wealth concentration and economic inequality. Contrary to its portrayal as a democratizing force, Bitcoin exacerbates wealth inequality. As of 2020, the National Bureau of Economic Research found that the top 10,000 Bitcoin wallets controlled 28% of total supply. Additionally, only 1.3% of the global population held Bitcoin at that time. If Bitcoin's valuation multiplies, this concentration will intensify, creating a smaller, wealthier elite. The early structure of Bitcoin inherently rewarded first movers, aligning more with capitalistic wealth consolidation than equitable distribution. Footnote: Bitcoin's design and distribution dynamics concentrate wealth, worsening inequality rather than resolving it. 6. Origin of blockchain and strategic deployment timing. Bitcoin's public emergence in 2009, during the global financial crisis, aligns suspiciously with broader geopolitical timelines. Its creation predates its release, implying institutional or state-level development rather than grassroots innovation. The pseudonymous creator Satoshi Nakamoto has never been publicly identified. Like the ARPANET project, which evolved into the Internet from Cold War military objectives, Bitcoin's inception may align with systemic control mechanisms masked as freedom technologies. Footnote: Bitcoin's unknown origin and release timing suggest it may follow precedents of state-engineered infrastructure like ARPANET. 7. Mass adoption through financial incentivization. Participation in early blockchain ecosystems is financially incentivized. The more users adopt the technology, the more existing holders gain. This model mirrors pyramid incentive structures, leveraging economic urgency to expand the network. By marketing blockchain as revolutionary and liberating, mass adoption is secured while centralized stakeholders quietly consolidate power. Simultaneously, governments and financial institutions have been integrating blockchain infrastructure, such as digital identity systems and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Footnote: Blockchain incentivization drives adoption while masking centralized development by global institutions. 8. Global institutional integration of blockchain systems. The World Economic Forum, Bank for International Settlements, and European Central Bank have all advanced digital identity and currency systems. These projects include centralized protocols that mimic blockchain features while preserving institutional control. Regulatory frameworks, pilot programs, and infrastructure development have occurred quietly over a decade. The rollout of CBDCs and programmable digital money will integrate these systems into legal and commercial governance. Footnote: Major financial institutions and governments have been building blockchain-based systems for centralized control and surveillance. 9. Asymmetrical opportunity versus systemic lockout. For individuals, the current transitional period offers a narrow window of opportunity to accumulate digital assets before full regulatory absorption. Participation may offer short-term wealth gains, but long-term use will be governed by identity-verified access, programmable funds, and restricted transactions. Those who remain entirely outside these systems risk exclusion from future economic structures. The choice is not freedom versus control, but timing and positioning within an inevitable shift. Footnote: Participating early in digital asset systems may offer financial leverage, but long-term control will remain with system architects. 10. This shift is the largest monetary transformation in modern history. The ongoing integration of blockchain, digital identity, and programmable money constitutes the most significant restructuring of monetary policy and control since the gold standard era. The shift is not cyclical, it is structural. It redefines the very nature of money, ownership, and participation in economic systems. While markets cycle, this transformation is permanent and systemic. Those unaware or unprepared will find themselves navigating a new financial order without understanding the rules. Footnote: The digital shift represents a permanent re-engineering of global monetary structures, not a market phase.